Hi everyone, welcome to my pick a card reading. I am going to give you 4 letters. The way that you'll know the deck that is for you is by the letter that you pick. I'm not going to pull yet. What I'm going to do is tell you A, B, C, or D. Which letter comes to you in your mind's eye first? And what I mean by mind's eye is literally the letter that pops into your head and intuitively feels like the one that is for you. So, take about 2 minutes, A, B, C, or D. Not 2 minutes, maybe just 10 seconds. So based on what you picked, I am going to go ahead and pull a spread for that. This is for your month of July, and this is for letter A. So guides and angels, for anybody that picked letter A, deck A, any messages for them for the month of July? Their highest good and highest good only of love and light. Oh, okay. So for those of you who picked deck A, there's something that you guys are actually getting over karmically. So it's saying almost like a cycle has ended and now you're stepping into another phase of your life. This is also a reassurance card saying that you don't need to repeat the cycle or worry about it happening again. This is almost just saying like you're really stepping out of a phase of your life that really was kind of tough. So for those of you who picked A, that is your main message. I'm gonna ask guides and angels, what else is going on with deck A for the month of July? Okay, so this is also saying I got Brigitte, and it's basically the energy here is that you're still meant to stand up for what you want. This is saying like the month of July will really bring you this feeling of that was then, this is now, let's move forward. I really want to create a space where I belong. This is really saying that you're meant to really stand up for what you believe is right and not back down to things or people in your life that are not in agreement with you. It's almost like, it's just like a one last fight. If you're feeling like you've been really pushing for something and it hasn't happened because you've been feeling let down by people around you, or you've been feeling like just kind of this like stagnant energy around what you want to do, it's saying this is not the time to be faint-hearted. I'm gonna pick out of a different deck. Kids and angels, any other messages for deck A? Ooh, I got father, husband, brother, son. This may deal with a male figure in your life specifically, even male energy. This is saying like, there needs to be some healing around this and this dynamic between you and the men in your life or this male figure in your life that really has been making you feel less than. This is saying that there's somebody who really hasn't been seeing you for who you are and what you need. And it's time to change the narrative between you guys. This is a lot of like male figure healing, just masculine energy healing. This is saying like what needs to actually shift and change. It needs to come up. So for the month of July, really take a stance around who you are versus who the male figures in your life are, what you need to heal these relationships, and how to move forward. This is interesting. Hold on. I want to pull another card out of here. Guides and angels, any other details around this? This is all saying 8 of water. Again, another reassurance that whatever has been going on, it's time for your soul to kind of shift. It's a lot of spiritual and emotional growth that you'll be feeling. This is also saying that what was working before is no longer working for you, and it's okay to move on. If you've been feeling like you needed to stay in a position, you don't anymore. So for whoever picked deck A, really the take-home message is that you're healing dynamics between you and the male figures in your life, and you're standing up for what you believe and what you want moving forward. You really are looking at some positive change and shifts, but there's still some healing that needs to be done this month. This is also saying that if you don't stand up for your beliefs, then you're just gonna repeat the same pattern. So please allow yourself to continue to stand up for who you are, what you want, what your being and truth is, because you're really meant to. Otherwise, you're going to repeat a cycle and pattern, and it does not need to be repeated. So just for those of you who picked deck A, that is the message for you. Okay. So for those of you who picked deck B, this is for you. Guides and angels, for anyone who picked deck B, any messages for them in their highest good? Ooh, I got the moon card. So for those of you who picked deck B, you're really going through some intuitive insight, releasing fears that hold you back. This is saying like you may start to have some aha moments around what your next steps are. This is also saying that you've had a lot of fears, and have you been living with certain fears in your life? Have they been dominating your decisions? Because honestly, you're meant to move past this. It's really important that you move past some of your negative set beliefs, things that have been making you feel like just not able to go forward, or also making assumptions about other people in your life. It's almost like you've been in a state of fear and judgment. And this is saying like it's time to let go of that and let spirit come through to you and give you the intuitive guidance that you so need, especially if you're trying to make a decision this month that is kind of bigger than you think, especially around moving. For those of you who are moving, I almost get this feeling of like, what is really holding you back? I want to go ahead and keep pulling for this. Guides and angels, any messages for deck B that they need to hear in their highest good only of love and light? Any messages here? Path or receptivity. So this is also saying like you're probably very much a natural giver, and you do care what people think, and you feel like your actions need to align with the people around you, but really what your actions need to do is align with who you are. And you need to be willing to come from a love space and a healing space. You've been so wrapped up in fear that you've almost lost yourself. This is saying that it's time to receive. It's time to be able to create space for what's going to nurture you, not just you nurturing others. So this is saying that whatever you've been holding back, whatever you've been allowing yourself to sit in as far as fear, self-judgment, self-criticism, and just kind of staying almost in your own SHIT, like literally sitting in it, it's time to get out of it. Allow people to help you. Allow people in your life to give you the assistance you need. When you give and give and give, which is a beautiful thing, you're also not letting yourself receive if you're just thinking about others and not yourself. It's really the beautiful energy between giving and receiving that makes all the difference. This is really important. So make sure that this is a priority. Guides and angels for deck B, any other messages that they need to hear in their highest good? Focus upon your strengths. If you've been also suffering from low self-esteem, saying you're not good enough, you're not able to see the bright light at the end of the tunnel, you're not sure what you have to offer, you're not sure if you can believe in yourself and what you're capable of, this is saying like you have so many strengths. And this is saying that really it's time to sit down and think about what you're good at, what you need out of life, who you are. Before you felt lost and wrapped up in all these anxieties and these fears, who are you? You know yourself. And I almost would say write down a list. Strengths, things that really make you who you are, things you're good at, the little and the big things. You gotta focus on the good. This is saying that you can't allow yourself to be somebody who's overextending and not realizing the beauty that sits inside of you. So this is really important. For those who picked deck B, please know that this is a time of immense growth if you'll receive it, to really create a space where you're able to step out of your fear, move forward, and know that you're worthy and that you have these innate abilities that you're able to give to the world as people give back to you and nurture you as well. It is not a one-way street. I want to pull one more card for you guys and angels. Any other messages for deck B? Chariot, this is saying that you also do want to move forward in your life. Again, for those of you who are moving, I really feel this strongly. It's like almost like you're meant to move forward, but it's saying that yes, it will take determination, it will take willpower, you're going to need to come from within and say, what are my end goals? What do I see for myself long term? And just recognize that this baggage that you hold with you, these fears, these worries, they may come with you, but they're not meant to dominate your decision. So this is saying like, yes, you've got baggage. Yes, things have happened. Yes, things have not always worked out, but you are meant to move forward regardless. What is your heart saying? How can you nurture yourself in this decision? How can you create a space where you're gonna grow, where you're gonna receive, where you can ask people for help and focus on what you need and who you are at the core? So this is for deck B. So guides and angels, this is for deck C. For anybody who picked deck C, this is for you, my guides and my angels. Any messages for those who picked deck C? Any messages here? Oh, the World. For those of you who picked deck C, this is almost saying like a congratulations. You've worked through some things are moving forward. You're also at this really great stage of enlightenment, almost like you're on the right track. If you needed reassurance to know for this month, essentially, what you've been doing or what you're planning, this is saying like, yes, you're on the right track. Things are gonna be working in your favor. This is saying that you've really done all the necessary things. Good job. It's like a happy card, essentially, of saying like congratulations. This is also saying like contentment, enlightenment, being able to see things for what they are, moving forward consciously. So this is a beautiful card for those of you who picked deck C. Guys and angels, any other messages for those who picked deck C? Any messages here? Ooh, I also got Brigitte again for this one. I also had gotten this for a different deck, but this is saying don't back down now. Stand up for your beliefs. Keep going. This is saying that your strength and your stamina has paid off and you have persevered. Good job. Keep going in that direction. Do not back down. You're just getting started. This is really what it's saying. In regards to July, this is a time for you to really create a space around you being able to continue with what you've learned and the strength you've gained over time. This is not the time to become faint. Does that make sense? I hope it does for whoever is listening to this and picked deck C. Guides and angels, any messages? Any other messages for those who picked deck C? Trust. You're iffy because at some point in time, you know, you're just wondering how much more you have, but really this is about trusting that the universe will bring you what you need. You don't need to keep pushing. For those of you who picked deck C, it's almost like I sense that you have gotten where you are because you've tried so hard, but you also need to now let the universe work with you without backing down for what you want. Don't become faint. Don't question yourself. Don't create this doubt that is just really unnecessary. This is saying like really trusting the process, trusting the timing, trusting the universe. They all come hand in hand. You can't always have things instantly, but this is just saying you're on the right path. Keep going. Do not sway if you feel like just disheartened or disgruntled or things that are not happening fast enough. This is saying like keep the momentum. I'm going to pick one more card for deck C. Any messages here for deck C, guides and angels? High Priestess. Ah, this is perfect. This is saying you're meant to really listen to your intuition to make those next steps because you've already made so many so far and you're doing good enough. This is also saying like you're meant to have patience around this time. Wait for the universe to communicate with you. Wait for it to feel right. Wait for whatever it is to step forward, to allow July to be a month of contemplation and intuitive feelings, and then being able to keep going. Don't back down, but also don't try to force things and rush forward. Trust. Create a space where you're able to get messages, take a walk, be by the water, whatever makes you feel comfortable and suited. This is a time for you to really go within. It's not a time to try and push forward and keep, coming up against a wall. This is saying you've done a really good job so far. Keep going, but do not force things. Allow things to come in the timing they're meant to. Allow things to come to you when they feel right. Do not keep pushing just to push. Guides and angels, this is for anyone who needs a message for deck D. Any messages for those who picked deck D? Guides and angels. Oh, deck D, this is saying it's time to move on from a situation. So you're really feeling almost like, this could mean that you're feeling unhappy or just feeling stagnant in a way that makes you feel like something needs to change. You want more meaning in your life. This is somebody who is really trying to go through some spiritual and emotional growth, whether you're very conscious of it or not. Your soul is really itching to get things going in a different direction. This is saying that, it's time to stop being in your head and really feel what you need for yourself and your soul. This is saying that what you've been doing is not enough in regards to what you want long term. This is saying for the month of July, really do some soul searching and figure out how you can grow emotionally. It doesn't mean that you have to make an action or do anything crazy, but where have you been feeling out of alignment? This is saying like really trust that your feelings are not false when it comes to feeling out of alignment in a situation. Guys and angels, any messages in regards to deck D? Anything else I need to know? I also got focus upon your strengths, and this is also saying, I got this in a different deck, but for you it's really like, it's almost like starting over. I get a sense that you need to know the right timing and also the idea around, why am I staying here? You know, it's almost like you don't see yourself clearly and the strengths that you have to offer the world and who you are. You know, I almost feel like you need to write down like the little and the big things about who you are that make you you and make you strong and really are your talents and the things that are your gifts. This is saying that, you know, really going back to the drawing board and really taking a look at how you ended up here and why you made the decisions, because really whatever you're doing is not suiting your nature. So this is saying like, really start to understand who you are. It's time to focus on who you are, not who you think you are, not who people want you to be. This is really important. Guides and angels, I also want to pull on deck D, another card. Any messages for deck D? I got fast, independent. This is saying like, you are your own person. You've always been your own person. You really are not meant to follow the crowd. When I get this card, it's saying like your authenticity and who you are is so unique, and that is to be celebrated, not hidden. So if you've been hiding behind a shadow, July is a month for you to really come to terms with who you are, how you want to show up in the world, how you can focus on the talents and the gifts that you have to bring them, because you're at a point where it's like you've almost been lying to yourself and lying to the people around you around who you are. Not because you're trying to be manipulative, but because you were always told or, you know, felt a certain way, that you had to do things a certain way just because of society, culture, your family. This is saying like you've always been like your own person. Embrace that and how it can actually benefit the world and yourself. This is saying like you're independent, do it your own way. You don't need to follow the crowd. I want to pull one last card for deck D. Guides and angels, any messages for deck D? Page of Earth, this may mean literally starting over, especially when it comes to work. When I get Page of Earth, it's almost like this is a good idea because long-term financially it'll be good, but it's also saying Page of Earth, being a student again of your own life and the things that interest you, exploring what you love, exploring what actually fuels you, and this is where you're gonna find success and really fulfillment within who you are. It's saying that it's okay to start over. And this deck D, this is about starting over and not being afraid of it. This is about owning who you are, owning your truth, owning what you want, and not being afraid of it. You are such an independent thinker, and you just do things your own way. Why did that stop? This is saying that you need to re-embrace who you are and what you need. This is very, very important. For those of you who picked deck D, July is about being okay with starting over. I hope this was helpful. For those of you who have any questions or want to see more pick a card readings, please like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.